I met a man today. At first I said, he's Irish because he has an Irish way, a sympathy and friendliness that warms you through and through. And I thought, oh no, he's not. He really is a Jew. His eyes of Israel, or maybe Emmanuel. He stood there as slim as he was tall. He really was an Englishman and not a Jew at all. His skin was so mild, a German he could be, or Viking, who set his sail against the sea. His courtesy was China's own, his dignity Japan. All at once he smiled at me, and I knew a black man smiled at me, until the sound of his voice spoke softly of Italy. I saw the desert land again, an Arab hospitality, camped upon the ground. Here was a Russian spirit that suffered much to keep the cross he wore. There was a Spanish artist, a philosophy from France, a gay and charming islander, a hero of romance. I met a man today, and he was marvelously fair. He really was a child of God who came from anywhere.
Hi, I'm Mike Kellett, and I'm doing a small little presentation today that is going to convey my heart of gratitude for the grace that God has given to me in a very tangible way, I feel. So that's what's important. Anything that I've ever received in my life, whether it's from my Catholic background or my unification movement background, is something that I want to come across today, that I own this. And this is what I believe, this is what I experience, and this is what I feel I can offer to others, to mankind, to God, most importantly. You know, the importance of living in this real world, this tangible, physical world, that's something that I want to express, that I am grateful that I'm alive, grateful that I'm in a country, America, that has freedoms to be able to make choices like I can and have unlimited ability to make my own way in life. So I really have so much to be thankful for. And I grew up in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. In King of Prussia is Valley Forge National Park, where our forefathers really made a lot of sacrifice in our early history to be able to help us have this country where we have, the freedoms that we have. A lot of sacrifice, a lot of giving, a lot of selflessness, and a lot of difficulty. The winter at Valley Forge, if you can remember. So I just want to be able to connect with my ancestors, with my forefathers who really had common sense, who really had empathy and compassion for others, who were not prejudiced, who were not narrow-minded, but who really had this heart of respect for one's faith, one's belief, and really felt that how they treated God is going to be reflected in how they treat their fellow man. And I have to say that Lee J. Kellett, my father, he had this basic principle. And yes, he was a Catholic, a strong Catholic in his belief, yet in his quiet moment, he expressed to me, as you heard in the poem, that he had this really sense of conscience. If you live better than the next man, this is how you are going to feel right in this afterlife. And he's expressed that to me in private, my own father, not clinging on to his Catholic way. And really, this is the message today. This is what Pope Francis is bringing, this freshness, that you don't have to be Catholic to go to heaven. I mean, if it helps you, do it. Follow those basic ways. And I was fortunate to be able to be in Philadelphia, to spend a couple of days there during the time of the visit of the Pope. And I was very fortunate to be with my brother Lee David, my sister Shannon Kellett, and my other sister Patty Eric Kellett. Both of them, so my two sisters and my brother. My older sister was not there, the eldest, Erin, which in spirit, hopefully. And then my Danny, my youngest brother, who passed already into the next world. So basically, my two sisters, my brother, and my brother-in-law, Pat Eric, we went and experienced the Pope. And Pope Francis, really, like my father expressed to me, has this going beyond Catholicism, in the sense of your conscience, in the sense of your heart, in the sense of a universal God, a God that isn't judging you, but you're your own judgment. And God is an unconditional parent. And in my faith, in my experience with truth and love and searching my soul and my religion, my way to God, I really expressed this universal love, this belief in God as a parent, a heavenly parent, heavenly father, mother. So, many people are experiencing things that are beyond the doctrine, the dogma. And I think when you do go to the next world, it's not a doctrine. How much do you know? It's actually what have you done? What have you experienced? And what do you really own in your life? And I think that's what we have to really go beyond in our own belief systems, whether it's Islam, Christianity, Confucianism, whatever the different influence that you have, that we can use that ritual, that understanding, and go beyond that for the higher ideal of true love. So I want to today to be able to bring to you some experience that I had with the Catholic community, going to Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love, how apropos, and to be able to experience with my brothers and sisters there, especially my brother Lee and my sisters Patty and Shannon. We were, and my brother-in-law, as I mentioned, Pat, we took bicycles and we went from my sisters and brothers' home in East Falls, and it was the point where they had the National Guard. That was the last point they were at, and they were at major intersections all the way into the center of the city. And that's where we were able to do this tour or experience Philadelphia in the greatest of times. I mean, it was so awesome to be able to have a city totally support a man of God, a man with a spiritual mission, and a man so down to earth. Pope Francis was so awesome. There was a little kid that dressed up just like the Pope, and he actually got out of his Pope-mobile and was able to kind of laugh and fun and hold the child. And he's not above and he's not below. He acted like any normal person with a good heart. So I was really, you could feel that in the crowd. You could feel the unity. And can you imagine 450 priests proceeding, trying to be at a proper place where they could actually give Holy Communion to 800,000 people that were present? I mean, I don't know, not all 800,000 went for Holy Communion, but there was this opportunity. And myself, not practicing that, I even felt moved to actually go. Whether or not that's part of we're allowed to do it, I did it. I was able to receive a Holy Communion in the Catholic ritual and really feel something very deep and very spiritual. And as I received this communion through the priest and see everyone with such solemnness and reverence, the atmosphere was so special. And I'm sure that you'll be able to get a sense of that as you watch this video.
Here for the papal visit, the World Meeting of Families. Me and about 500,000 of my closest friends. Hanging out on the parkway.
There you go.
Waiting for the Pope to come.
Look at it. It's unbelievable. The whole multitude of people. I mean, it's just beyond way. There's no way to explain it. You have to be here to see the amount of people here of faith. Am I right?
Oh, yes. That's so true.
What moves you, ma'am?
We have almost 1.5 million of people here. Me, I'm from Zimbabwe. And I came all the way to close to the Pope. At the same time, visiting my daughter who stays here in Texas.
Oh, okay.
But I'm born and raised Catholic. I'm 60 years old, and this is my very first time.
It's amazing.
I
Do you
don't
feel
know.
the spirit of the city here of Philadelphia right now?
I feel like right now I'm so close to God because of His Holiness, the Holy Father. The feeling is like you just up there, and you're not like feeling heavy, but so light.
It's awesome, huh?
Yeah.
I feel the same spirit.
It's
Okay.
the Holy Spirit.
Thank you. God bless
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
You're welcome. There's no way to describe the spirit of all the people here. Yes. Can you describe the spirit?
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's the whole millions of people with a procession here. All these singers walking. It's just impossible to describe. It's an experience you need to have to be here. And I'm honored Francis has brought has been one to go home and to be more tender, more exemplary in your own day-to-day life. It was very profound and really spoke from his heart. Excuse me.
That was
Patty,
amazing.
what do you think, babe?
Oh, took my breath away. A moment in our history.
We have tears coming down my eyes.
It's a moment in our history.
We love each other.
We love Pope Francis. This gives you hope. This is hope right here. Hope is packaged in this weekend.
I love you guys.
We should keep it for later. Tuck it away when we need it again.
I love you, Patty. I love you, Shannon.
The Pope came with a message to America, and this message was one of not being stuck to a doctrine, not having to be Catholic, but to be able to really center upon a God, a loving God, a universal loving parental God. And you know what I respect about Pope Francis is that not only is he just speaking words that are just words, but he actually follows these words. He's actually brought together, he's inspired people to fast, to come together and to have conferences that deal with coming together to unite, you know, under God, different religions. He's brought together different leaders of the Islam faith, of the Jewish faith, to the Vatican, and to be able to really make this condition to pray and to fast. He set up a day for fasting. This kind of leadership is so crucial at this time in America's history, because clearly we are in a decline. Our family values, our morals are really being challenged. And communism still is here, you know, this godless belief system, this atheistic belief system, this system that has no sense of consequence after you die here. So rationality is subject, you know, end justifies the means, whatever it takes to get to your goal. This kind of just evil logic. So more than that, you know, we need to really come together. We need to be unified. America is founded upon more of a Judeo-Christian principle that embraces all people, all faiths. So I feel that Pope is trying to bring something new. He's opening a door of humanity, of service, of living for others, which really, in the long run, when you finish this life, and in the Bible or in the Christian background, we talk about rebirth, and that is our rebirth. Our second birth is when we discard from our physical body and we go into the spiritual realm. And there is no limitation there. There is no boundaries, you know, where you don't have your body and you have this experience there where if you really were able to understand the real meaning, the real essence of life, the purpose of life, which connects to true love, that is the air. That is the air that you breathe in the next world. You know, we breathe here physical air to survive. To really, the air in the next world is an air of love. And that is the basis for us to be able to come together and to really go beyond religion and to be able to connect to a loving parental God. So that's why I want to really be able to testify to this spirit that that Pope Francis brought to Philadelphia, the 2 days that I experienced with my family. It was a very high spirit, as you see in the video, a very real and very tangible, a real time of American history that needs to really be a landmark. But I do believe that now we need to really learn from these experiences, my own personal life, but as a whole, as an America, the morals and the ethics, they really need to be really looked at so that, you know, right now we can be able to have a more hopeful future. Right now we're being called to really, what is the value of our freedom? I mean, the classic line, without responsibility, you can't have true freedom. Right now, there is a lot of push towards different beliefs that don't connect with traditional religious values, that deal with family, of husband and wife and children in this character development. This basic foundation of family is really as a small microcosm, a small example of how we can bring world peace. In our family, it's how we learn how to really overcome all the different challenges. And then, in that sense, we have a foundation to do that in our society and in our world. So I really saw in Philadelphia, I really experienced, I experienced my own family and our harmony and our love for each other. And I truly feel God was guiding this, and I really see how we were able to connect in a societal sense in a city of brotherly love. And this is so important. This is a landmark for America. So much was invested to support this experience in Philadelphia. And I want to be able to give some documentation to this, some personal touch, because I do value that I was honored to go and be with my brother and my sisters, and to be with that greater picture too, of brothers and sisters, meaning the Catholic community. I do want to express that I was able to go to the Miraculous Metal Shrine. It's located in Germantown, this cathedral. And it was there that we listened to one of the educators of the Catholic faith, Mr. Hahn. And, it was very insightful, and he shared a lot about his own family experiences, and, you saw the value of being a parent and how it helps you in your own spiritual growth and your relationship with God. And one of the questions I had in this presentation was his understanding or his belief in priests and how they should conduct themselves, in the sense of how their lives, are able to be more connected, to God in the sense of getting married. This is a big issue in the Catholic Church, and I know in my faith we've had an Archbishop Emmanuel Malingo, and he's from Zambia, and he was married by the founder of my faith, and this caused a lot of controversy. And I know that he started a group in the Catholic faith to inspire priests to get married. We know that there's a lot of challenges, in the priesthood, and how they are engaged with, young people, and they've done different things. So, I'm not here to throw any cheap shot. I'm here to be able to want to, express my understanding that the Pope is really cares. He really has the heart of wanting to no matter how difficult couples are experiencing. He even brought in 20-some couples into the papacy and remarried them. It shows you what kind of man he is, how much he's really humbled himself to how to help people and help connect that sacrament of marriage. So, that's what my personal belief is that marriage is a blessing from God. And this is the greatest of sacraments. This is the way that we can reflect God as a parent, as a male and a female, is in marriage between the male and female. And what I value so much in Pope Francis is that he is more advancing, he's more emphasizing the positive principles, the positive values that are in Catholicism, as opposed to what they are against. And that's what my faith supports. We're not focusing on things that are more what we believe to be sinful and wrong, but more on what's right. So I think that's really that is the judgment for everyone, is that we fall short of connecting with God's love. This lack of mind and body, word and deed, and so this virtuous life. So that's our challenge, is to be able to really become united in mind and body, spirit and body, and live really according to our conscience. So it's the most important that we're able to be exposed to such a way. And I think Pope Francis is really doing a great job, really stepping out. His political beliefs, his own personal experience in Argentina does influence his view on practical issues. But I think most importantly, he's bringing some human element to a faith in God. He's bringing that compassion and that heart, and really not just in words and not just some kind of ritual type of way, but really he's actually going in the forefront, as I have mentioned, really inspiring fasting and prayer to bring the different religions together. And so he's the Pope, and the Pope has a powerful position, and he's really stepping out. And as he has expressed so much to people, he goes, please pray for me. And I can understand why, because if you really follow what's been going on in the Catholic faith, there's been a lot of challenges and a lot of people really pricking at Catholicism. And I really want to be able to value that foundation, the sacrifice and the selflessness of so many people, past and present, who are really working towards the ideal of a better world, an ideal world of love, true love. Thank you.